Aloha everyone, Happy New Year. I am Razel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my 2023 goals and why those goals are leading me to leave the island this year, actually in a couple weeks. I am not normally one for New Year's resolutions. I am someone who, if you have a goal, start that goal. I'm not like a wait till Monday kind of person. I'm very like, if I want it now, if I'm passionate about it now, I will try to go for it now. So I never really believed in New Year's resolutions. Looking back, maybe that's why I haven't been so successful with things, because I haven't set my long-term goals for myself. But this is the year that I'm gonna be doing that. So I'm gonna talk those through with you guys, and a lot of people have been asking me why I'm leaving the island, so I figured this video would just kind of answer all of those questions. And when I do move back home, I feel like even more people are gonna ask me. So if I just put this video out now, it'll eliminate a lot of confusion and like, why are you leaving? Honestly, I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyways, let's get into it. So first I wanted to talk about my 2022 experience, just very high level before I go into the depths of everything. I have refilmed this like so many times and I just keep going on a tangent, so hopefully this time around I'm a little bit more specific. Overall in 2022, I was just super lost and confused and just going along with emotions. I had different emotions and different decisions like every other day. I felt like there was a lot going on throughout the year and I just wasn't really doing anything about it. I was just like, it'll figure itself out, and I kept having that mindset, and I was like, you know what? I think I might need some direction and flow in my life. I'm 26 years old and I'm getting into the phase in my life where I really do need to start long-term-ish planning, at least for the next couple years. I've always been like living in the moment, enjoying and living my life to the possible fullest. But the 20s are the year to discover myself, discover what I want for myself, what I need, and all of that fun stuff. And 2023 is going to be the year that I do it. So there are 3 goals that I have for this upcoming year. 1 is my career path, 2 are my relationships, 3 is figuring out where I physically see myself living in the near long-term future, so at least the next few years. So number 1, my career path. I have been working in marketing for the last 4 or 5 years, and I would like to stick with marketing. I love what I do, but I'm still very early in my career path. Again, I just graduated college 3 years in 2019. So just over 3 years ago, I graduated college. I was in school for marketing, and I never really knew what field of marketing I wanted to do. Marketing's super wide, super broad, and I've always wanted to kind of like touch on the different parts of it, and I've been really lucky with my job where I was able to dabble in a couple parts of marketing, but not too many. In 2022, I realized I was starting to feel kind of like plateaued where I was at. Not that I was doing it all that long. I was in life cycle marketing for about 2-3 years. It wasn't really something that I wanted to continue doing, or at least it was kind of I was kind of in a place where I wanted to try something different. And I think I'm at a perfect time in my career and perfect time in my company's kind of journey where we just did a reorg. So I've been having conversations with my manager to explore different realms of marketing. Going forward, I'm going to be doing a little bit of like demand gen stuff, marketing to prospects, and kind of touching into like strategic events, field marketing. So that is a big focus for me. My job, my career is kind of the one stable thing that I have had in my life for the last 4.5 years, almost 5, and I'm super thankful for it. Okay, so number 2, relationships. Okay, I just wanted to redo this part of the video. I was watching it and I was like, actually, I don't know how much I agree with myself for this being a goal. So as I mentioned in the beginning, number 2 was relationships. However, I'm taking back everything that I said. My original goal, not necessarily relationships, but more so communication in order to strengthen and build the relationships that I have, which is still a goal of mine. A primary initial reason was to find so embarrassing, a romantic partner, because I was trying to look for like my person who doesn't want one, who doesn't really want it. I know there's a lot of people, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just a little embarrassed. Now that I think back on it, I do want a person, just not in the next few months. I'm gonna keep the original version right after this clip, but the first half of 2023 is more so my relationship with myself. I was in a situationship that like barely lasted anything at the end of last year, and I'm still kind of embarrassingly still getting over that. So I'm still trying to focus the next few months on myself. And in the last couple weeks, I have been doing really well with enjoying the time that I have with myself again, and like being able to just like stay home alone with my thoughts, alone with like whatever it is that I'm doing, like watching TV, sitting on my phone. Like I was not able to do that for a few months. Like I would be going crazy wanting to like go out or like just like forget about my emotions and just like not sit with myself, because I was just a wreck. So I'm finally able to like enjoy time to myself again, and I want to kind of stay in that. I like where I'm at right now. Just enjoy me time, rediscover myself, eat, pray, love. All right, going back to the OG film of this. Okay, so number 2, relationships. I was primarily referring to like romantic dating kind of relationships, but I guess this could apply with all the relationships in my life. I actually don't know why this one's called relationships. It's more about communication, but my goal is to find my next stable, near long-term partner, and with that comes more communication. And I think that's something that I would really like to work on this year, is communicating what my wants and my needs are, and to strengthen those relationships that I currently have, strengthen my future relationships. I just want to figure out what it is that I want and to be able to communicate that. In the last year, I've been more casually dating, and that is not something I want to do anymore in 2023. I am over casually dating. I'm over situationships, and I know you kind of have to do that in order to find a long-term partner, because that fricked up my last one. I feel like just not communicating just messed it up. I just want to do better. I just want to be better in terms of my relationships. In order to do that, I will be working on my communication skills in 2023. Number 3, this is the biggest one that leads into like the next part of it's kind of combined in terms of why I'm leaving the island and this particular goal. So number 3 is figuring out where I want to live. I've been living in Hawaii for the last 2 years. I initially moved out here post breakup, mid-pandemic. I had no reason to be home anymore. I lived with my ex, my boyfriend at the time, and when we broke up, I was just a complete mess. Like, we had been together for 5.5 years, and I really just like wanted to find myself, soul search, and live my dream of living in Hawaii. And at that time was a perfect time for me to do it. And so I did, and my first year out here was awesome. It was amazing. I was able to find myself. I made new friends. I found my love for surfing. I built a routine for myself. I learned how to live on my own. I was purely independent. Like, everything was really just going in my direction in that first year. Everything was new and happy and exciting. I think at the year mark, I didn't think so at the time, but looking back now, I think I hit island fever. And they always say after 1 year on the island, you kind of get island fever. And again, I didn't think it was that, but looking back, it probably was that. I was finally kind of stabilizing my life here on the island. The excitement was starting to wear off. I was kind of like more stable in my routine where there weren't as many changes, but then there was like drama happening with like the friend group at the time, and everything was kind of not how it was in the beginning. I think honestly reality was just setting in for me. And this was around the time of the holidays, and so I was home for 5 weeks during this chaos. I used to hate whenever I had to visit home. I was like, I hate this place, I hate it at home, whatever. But at that time where things on the island just didn't feel as stable and exciting and fun anymore, home just felt right. I'm really close with my family, so it was really nice to reconnect with them during those 5 weeks. And it was nice to see old friends and just be back in my old life. Like, everything was exactly pretty much how I left it. And things, again, it just felt comfortable. That was like my safe zone. And when I left and I came back to the island, like back to my life, like after the holidays, it was really hard for me to readjust back into the island life. And at that time, the first half of 2022, I was really homesick. I couldn't find that like happiness on the island. I don't know what it was, but I just like, I couldn't feel at home out here. I don't, like my brain and my mind was just like, what is going on? Because that first year, there was always constant change going on in that first year. And the second year just felt so flat. Maybe I was getting bored. I don't know what it was. And the only thing that was keeping me stable was surfing. During this time that I was feeling really homesick and missing my family was constantly asking me to come back home. That's when I made the decision to move home. So I told everyone, I told my family, I told my friends out here after the summer swell, and I'm probably gonna move back home. And of course, right after I made that decision and kind of committed to that plan, things started to change. And when the summer hit, my cousin moved out here, and that was one part of what made me so homesick, was missing family so much. And then my cousin moved out here, and that was awesome. And we went to explore, and we went to like do all these things. We made new friends. I met a boy through the new friends that we made. I started pole dancing, so then we made like we call them pole sisters. So I had a whole new community of friends. And then I joined a halau, and I started feeling more connected to the land and the culture out here. And then because I was surfing so much from being homesick and having that be my only stable thing out here, I made surf friends. Everything started to finally just like get into a place where I think I really see myself and my future in my life here. But I had already kind of committed to everyone that I was leaving. So I kept saying that I was leaving, but no part of me actually wanted to leave at this point anymore. And I just like didn't really know what to do. So for the second half of 2022, I was like, where do I want to live? But during this time, I was like, no, I don't know if I want to move back home. And I was just kind of going all over the place, and I was like, no, you know what? I might take back my, I want to move back home. So I was like talking to my family, and I was talking to like friends out here, and I was like really close to actually staying. And then towards the end of the year, more things started like imploding. In October, my dad got remarried, so my home life was going to be different. With work, my manager had left. There was reorgs, there were layoffs, and my entire team had changed. The guy that I met out here, we were really rocky, complicated, and eventually ended things. So then I was so torn with whether I wanted to stay on the island or not stay on the island. And I'm like super embarrassed to be sharing this part, but once our situationship, I just learned that term. Once that situationship got really complicated and then eventually ended, I allowed my emotions to take over, and I was like, that's it. I have no reason to stay on the island anymore. I'm leaving. So even though the reason we ended was because I was leaving, I never actually officially made that decision, but I pretty much did because we were so complicated and my family was asking for me back, and I kind of committed to it anyways. Then I finally officially started making the moves to move. I found someone to take over my place while I'm gone, told my job that I was leaving, told my family that I was coming back. Like, I just did all the steps to leave the island. But then when I came back home for the holidays, I was doing a lot of like reflection, healing from the end of that situationship, and I realized that I'm not ready to permanently leave the island. I think a big part of my life is still out here. A lot of what I want to do for myself lives out here. I moved out here and created a life for myself that I want to live in my 20s, at least for the next few years, which makes way more sense than the life that I am so comfortable with back at home. I'm in a place in my life where I need the challenge, that I need to stay here and face my problems and my challenges and all of those things, because I was not doing that before. But yeah, now that I'm going home, enjoy the time that I have with my family. So yes, I will be leaving the island. Yes, it is to be with my family, like I have been telling everyone, but I will be coming back. I'll be coming back for the summer and then deciding if it is a place that I want to stay. As of right now, while filming this video, it is somewhere that I would like to stay, at least for another couple years. So that is why I will be leaving the island. That is why I have been chaotic the last few months. So this could all change tomorrow, this could all change next week, but as of right now, while filming this video, those are my goals for 2023 and why I'm leaving the island. Thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, follow me on all my social channels, come with me for this adventure for the next year, and we're just gonna explore and live this life all together. You'll be with me for my adventures for 2023, so stay tuned for more content, and thank you for listening. Mahalo, ahui ho.